Welcome, everyone. I'm Greg Gumbel here with my partner, Clark Kellogg. Just ahead on College Hoops Tonight, brought to you by State Farm, the #1 auto insurer. We'll reveal which of the NCAA's highly touted recruits made up his mind this week, as well as show you the best action from around the nation. But we begin with a special player who was an easy choice as our player of the week in college basketball.
Laurelin was a floor general of the highest order this week, and when point guards get on a roll like he did, it's basketball at its absolute finest. He was a ton of fun to watch.
It was a magical week for him, Clark, no doubt about it. The fans really got behind him as the points kept piling up, and you could see him feed off their energy. He's a cult hero to those people now, and if he has a few more weeks like this one, he'll be one of the all-time legends at that university. There's just as much action in the living room as there is in the locker room at this time of year as college coaches make their pitch to high school stars around the nation in the hope of finding a special player that'll push their program to the next level. The Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets have to be considered the big winners in the recruiting wars this week. They brought in a young man whose talent is undeniable.
McDaniel made up his mind after months of having coaches beating down his door. And everyone involved in that program is whistling on their way to work today.
He made a name for himself while he was playing his high school ball on the East Coast.
And pretty soon the rest of the country is going to know who he is too, Greg. I got to see him play a few times in high school, and his skill set is perfectly suited for the college game. Sometimes his high school teammates had trouble keeping up with him, and obviously that won't be as much of a problem next year.
There was no shortage of excitement on the court in the past few days, so let's take a look at our games of the week. We had a pair of top 25 teams in an old-fashioned grudge match. Duke knocked off Kentucky.
The score might not have been close, but I don't think that's an indicator of how similar these teams are talent-wise. It was just a matter of one side having an off night at the worst possible time. Doggone took care of business in this one. His 15 points led the team. Watching him basically put his teammates on his back and single-handedly carry them to the victory in a big game situation like this was stupendous.
Although this next contest seemed predictable enough, one of the best teams in the country suffered a severe shock to the system. Auburn overpowered Louisville.
No one could have predicted this outcome, Greg. Louisville was sitting pretty as a top 5 team, but you've got to have some doubts about them after a loss like this. Auburn really muscled up down low and was able to convert a lot of easy chances close to the basket. Whether it was the big men or the guards, they made the most of their opportunities. They established their inside presence from the start and were able to rely on getting their points down low throughout the game.
That'll do it for us here in the studio. For my partner, Clark Kellogg, I'm Greg Gumbel. Thanks for watching College Hoops Tonight, brought to you by State Farm, the #1 auto insurer. Enjoy the exciting week of college hoops action to come.